to another edition of me talking to myself about movies. It's my favorite time of the freaking night. I record pretty late around here just to make sure everybody's in bed so I don't get disturbed too much. But today I have a zombie marathon, basically. Well, not basically. I got 10 zombie films that I watched over the weekend. And there's some doozies here. I'm wondering whether I might do the whole week. 10 zombie films an episode if I can get through them. We'll see. See how that goes. I'm going to jump right into it here. I have them in my favorite, my least favorite, all the way to my favorite, just for this pile. Not like of all time. I don't even think I have every zombie movie that I would be in like my top 50. So, but this is my first pile of 10, ranked from number 10. And at number 10 of these, I have The Dead Don't Die. This is a newer one with a really stacked cast. I actually had much higher hopes for this. With this cast, like Bill Murray, Adam Driver, Tilda Swinton, Chloe Sevigny, Steve Buscemi, Danny Glover, like the list is on. Selena Gomez, like it goes on and on. Cameos galore. And it has some funny parts, but it feels like some of the people in it aren't trying very hard. Like they're just like it's a paycheck movie for them or something. It's weird. Who directed this? Jim Jarmusch? Jim Jarmusch? I don't know his name. But, like, it had some... It's fun seeing all these people come on screen together, but honestly, I'm not sure why they bothered. Like, it didn't seem like people were trying as hard as they should have. It's just a cash grab, I'll say. It's a cash grab zombie movie. Like, even Bill Murray feels like he's just phoning in his role. He's not even, like, trying very hard. But The Dead Don't Die. It's still worthy of a watch. Because some people might find it funnier than I do. Like, comedies like that, right? Some people find things hilarious that other people just shrug their shoulders at. This is one for me. A couple jokes land throughout the movie. It's got a pretty basic storyline. Your typical town infestation. They all have to come together to try and stop it. Number 9, I have World War Z. This is the 4K from Scream Factory here. And I didn't go out of my way to buy this because I already had a Blu-ray version and that was good enough. But I found this at my local movie store that like buys and sells used movies and stuff. And it was only like $12. So I was like, yeah, I'll definitely grab that for $12. Like I think on Amazon here, this is like 40 or something silly. So, this slid out. I didn't put it back properly. It comes with the 4K theatrical cut. Comes with the Blu-ray theatrical cut, and it comes with the Blu-ray extended edition. I just watched the 4K, but I've already seen Blu-ray extended and everything on my other version. The first time I watched this, I liked it a lot more. Like this is a movie that every time I watch it, it drops a little bit. It's like the opposite effect of a lot of movies I watch. Usually they get better and better with watches, but this one gets worse and worse for me. It's still good. Like it introduces some of the most ridiculously fast zombies to ever exist in movies. To the point where they become mountains, basically, of zombies. I do think the highlight of the whole movie is the scene in Jerusalem where they come over the wall. There's a few slow down parts that I found a little bit boring, but I mean they got to give you some. This is more of a storyline, right? Because it's a virus, uh, not like the dead coming back to life. It's literally like a bad case of the rabies. And I do like the storyline where it only attacks healthy people because it wants to live like a virus and spread itself from person to person. So they learn to fight it by injecting themselves with diseases and stuff. But there's some good kills. Nothing spectacular in the kill department. There's some very intense moments. There's a moment in the staircase that felt like a scene from like Wreck. There's the opening scene actually where he's just Brad Pitt's driving with his family and the outbreak starts to happen. That entire section is really well done and good as well. The 4K looks spectacular. I'll say that. Yeah, like I'm guessing most people have seen World War Z. Like most of the zombie films I'm going to be talking about, to be honest. These are some of the biggest name zombie movies. So, the girl in this too, Brad Pitt's wife, she was in a show that I watched one season of that I liked a lot. It was called The Killing. And I tried to watch the second season of that show and it fell apart. Mariel Enos? Or Mariel Enos? Enos? That's her name. Yeah, World War Z. If you haven't seen it, give it a watch, obviously. And if you can get this 4K for a reasonable price, it's definitely a good addition. It's the last time you'd ever have to buy this. Comes with every edition, so it's a good one. Next up here, I'm jumping back over to some zombie comedy here. This is Little Monsters, starring Lupita Nyong'o and Josh Gad, a couple other characters. I actually find the one guy in this, I don't know what he's from. I've never seen him in anything else that I know of. Alexander England, I believe his name is. He is this character here. I find him to just have some really funny parts, like gut bursting funny parts. Just the way he acts and delivers his roles. This is Lupita Nyong'o plays a school teacher, and she's bringing her class on a school trip, and she just happens to bring them to a place that's infested with zombies. And there's some good gore here. There's a lot of good funny scenes where they're on like classic like hayride, and it's just like zombies eating shit and killing people and stuff while they're on it, and she's like singing a song to keep the kids calm. Great acting. It's some good, funny British style humor. Decent storyline. It's a solid one. I would definitely that's why it's number 8 in the stack. But if you haven't seen this one, I would definitely give it a watch. It's kind of like a hidden gem, I think. I don't think a ton of I haven't heard anybody talk about it, so I'm guessing it kind of went under the radar. What year did it come out? This is 2019, so fairly new. 5 years ago, jeez. Half a decade ago was 2019. Man, time flew. Next up here, I have Blood Quantum. This one was recommended to me by Joe, my friend Joe, who's McLovin on YouTube. This one it's a Native American cast, or Native Canadian. I'm not sure. It felt like a Canadian movie, but it doesn't say anywhere. So, but it's kind of like this is another this one's heavy on storyline. Like there's a lot of storyline, but the kills and some of the gore is just brutal. Like, yeah, no slipcover or nothing. There's a part where a guy gets his dick bit off. It was really brutal. And you know what's coming too. Like, because you know, yeah, you just know, you see it coming. It's just a really dark, like, just depressing, like, serious zombie movie. There's nothing fun here. It's so silly. I said this to my daughter, to Samara. Like, on the catchphrase on it says fun and gory as hell. So when I turned this on, I was thinking, oh, this might be like a comedy. And there isn't one funny part in this movie. It is like as depressing as it can get, basically. It's just sad and somber throughout. Dark and bloody and just gritty. It's a weird quote on the... I don't know who had fun while watching this. It's more like just entertained, I guess. But yeah, Blood Quantum. If you don't have that, you should definitely pick it up. It's probably not... well, if you can still get it. I don't even know on some of these. I bought this a while ago. What year was this one? I think this might be 2019 too, actually. It's like 2019, 2020. It doesn't say on here, but I'm pretty sure it's one of those 2 years. But if you can get your hands on that, I'd definitely pick that up and give it a watch. It was decent. A lot gorier than I was expecting. And then at number 6 here, I have Zombieland Double Tap. This is the sequel to Zombieland, obviously. All the returning cast. Now, I was laughing my ass off while watching this movie. I really think this movie didn't get as much love as it deserved back in 2019 when it came out. I think zombie movies were starting to start to die out a bit. Like, this is, in the last 5 years since this came out, I can't name too many zombie movies that have come out. So the trend is dying. From like the mid-2000s to the mid-2010s was just zombie overload. Zombie movie after zombie movie. It's just insanity how many came out. Trended hard. Then you also had The Walking Dead on TV. Like, it was big for a while. And so I didn't hear a lot of people talk about this. And I actually think it's, like, quite funny. There's a blonde girl they introduce for a bit in the movie that is just, like, irritating. So irritating, but it's comedic. But, she's, like, just the most annoying person you could ever want to be around during... ever, really. But in the zombie apocalypse, even worse. But, yeah, so much fun stuff here. I love the ending scene with the monster truck and Rosario Dawson. The whole sequence there. There's some great jokes throughout. Like, it's just a comedy fest. If you haven't seen Zombieland Double Tap, definitely give it a watch. It's worthy of your time. It's fun. And then I'm getting to another one this one I watched a couple of years ago for the first time. This is Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse. And honestly, this one shocked the shit out of me. Everybody in my house, actually. When I turned this on, I thought it was just going to be, like, stupid, because I had never heard of it. This is from, like, 2015 or something. Yeah, 2015. And I had never even heard of it, and I watched it a couple years ago for the first time, just randomly. And right from the opening scene, I was hooked. Like, it starts out with a guy, he's a janitor, and he's mopping the floor, but it starts out with, like, what's the name of that annoying... It's a pop song. A really popular song that was really big at the time. And it's just one of those annoying pop songs that gets stuck in your head. And he's got his headphones on and he's singing it and dancing while mopping. And it leads to him accidentally unleashing a zombie apocalypse. And then it's just good stuff. I enjoy every scene in this. Even the slow down moments, we're getting to know all these scouts and the characters in it. They're all entertaining. There's I don't want to ruin this because if you haven't seen it, you need to give it a watch. I guaranteed that you'll find a lot of enjoyment out of this one. It caught everybody in my house off guard. And um like some of the humor, most of the humor lands. There's only a couple jokes that don't. Cloris Leachman has an awesome uh, part in this. It's really freaking good. Um, there's zombie cats at one point in this that are freaking cool. There's one scene in particular where they're jumping out of a window to escape the zombies onto a trampoline. And something happens during that scene that, oh, I laughed so hard the first time, and then even on this second watch, my stomach hurt. I was just like, it's so funny. Scout's Guide is a must see for any fan of zombies or horror in general, to be honest. Now I'm getting to my top 4 here that I watched. Next up, I'm going to go with, this is from Criterion Collection. This is the original Granddaddy, Night of the Living Dead. It's hard to not give this the first place position, just because it's like the granddaddy of zombie movies. But I have this 4K. I picked it up not too long ago. It comes with a really nice, giant, like classic newspaper feeling article poster type thing on the inside. So you get the actual poster here, this side, and then this side is literally just an entire freaking story. It's big, tons of info. Kind of feels like newspaper clipping. Holy moly. Okay, there we go. And then it comes with the 4K and 2 Blu-rays. The first one is the movie, the second one is just packed with bonus features. Honestly, this version by Criterion is just an overload. Like, look at the special features. They start here and then just, it's like a freaking paragraph and a half of special features. It's nuts. But yeah, 1968, the classic. They're coming to get you, Barbara. Everybody's heard that line. But I have to say that the 4K, it looks great. It's still full screen. Like it's still got the sides cut off because it's classic. So they didn't like fuck with it at all. Still feels like the classic movie. But the sound is, I think, on this 4K is what shines. Like on my surround sound, it actually had surround sound. Like I could hear it coming out of my other speakers, where a lot of these old movies just don't have it. Like they only come out of your front speakers basically. And so they did give it an upgrade in the sound department, which was nice. And like, what can I say about the original Night of the Living Dead? Like it's, if you can put yourself in that time, it almost feels like genius movie making. Like, it's kind of nuts. I know in today's standards, if you haven't seen it before or when you were younger, it's not gonna probably hold up for a new person seeing it. But you really have to just think about all the other horror movies that were coming out around that time. Just, I don't know, like, just think about how good it actually is. Like, it's landmark achievement of a movie. The endings, like, this is another movie, obviously no comedy here. This is all sad and somber and brutal. But Dwayne Jones here plays the lead, which even that in itself, like a black man playing the lead in 1968 in a film was probably pretty rare. I don't know because I wasn't alive then. I only know what I've heard and read, but I'm guessing that it's pretty rare, and it's just the tension in this movie. There's one annoying girl in this movie that irritated me, and Dwayne Jones here backhands her across the face at one point, and I think it's the only time in movie history where I'm like, oh, thank God that man just knocked that bitch out, because she's just like irritating every line she delivers, which is also great movie making. Like, they knew you'd be okay with that happening. But yeah, this is a beautiful, perfect version of this movie. I never even had this movie before I bought the Criterion as well. I think I had it in like a steel tin that just comes with all kinds of classic movies on DVD, and there's like 6, it's like Mill Factory or something, where there's like 6 movies per disc, and they look like absolute shit. Like, if you're okay with just the movie looking its age, then those classic DVDs that stack all those movies on them are fine. But I don't know, on some of these, like, they deserve to have a great restoration and just be brought forward for a modern audience that can hopefully watch it and appreciate it more. But yeah, Night of the Living Dead. Grab the Criterion if you can. It's freaking nice. It's worth it. And then my top 3 here. At number 3, I'm going to have The Return of the Living Dead. This is from my birth year, 1985. This one's great horror comedy as well. With lots of iconic scenes. The opening credit song is just great in my opinion. Like, as soon as the opening credit song hits, I'm excited. Like, I'm sucked into this movie now. And I've seen this a dozen times. And every single time I watch it, it's a movie that I just can't I can't take my eyes off. I enjoy it all. All the graveyard scenes. Just the way the zombies start talking. I love the scene on the operating table with the woman zombie that's just like a top torso, and she's like tells about like it hurts, like every time the reason why they have to eat brains is because they're like it's excruciatingly painful if they don't. Like, I don't know, it like gives meaning to zombies. I don't know. It's one of my all-time favorites. I absolutely love it. I will go back to this movie multiple times. I have the second one as well. I won't even get into that because I might do that in an episode coming up. Yeah, if you haven't seen Return of the Living Dead, absolute zombie classic, needs to be seen. And this is gonna be a quick episode today. So I've actually been pretty busy today. So I still have some things I have to do before I freaking go to bed tonight. So I'm kind of just going through it. At number 2 here, I did another watch of Shaun of the Dead. Edgar Wright classic here. Just a great... This one's obvious. Honestly, it's top notch as well. Is that reversible art? 1 second here. Okay, no. It's just French. Alright, I was wondering. I was like, reversible art. Yeah, Shaun of the Dead. I know I say this a lot. If you haven't seen Shaun of the Dead, you need to watch Shaun of the Dead. Movie's absolutely classic. Some lists, it's number 1. A lot of lists, it's like number 2 or 3 best zombie movies of all time. Like, it's a top zombie movie of all time, even for me. If I was doing my overall greatest zombie movies ever made. This would definitely be top 10 for sure. It's just, I don't even know what to say about Shaun of the Dead. If you haven't seen it, obviously, get out and grab it and watch it. You will not be disappointed. Nick Frost and Simon Pegg knock it out of the park, proving that they are a great comedy duo, and they prove it in Edgar Wright's next movie, Hot Fuzz, which I actually like more than Shaun of the Dead. But Shaun of the Dead's just such a classic. There's so many good moments. Nick Frost is great. Just solid stuff. And then my number one for this first pile of 10, this is on 4K, and this is the original Zombieland. Another absolute classic here with a stacked cast. And oh man, was this movie ever good. Right from the opening credits with from whom the bell tolls. Jesus. I'm blanking. That's how exhausted I am today. I'm blanking on one of my favorite, a song by one of my favorite bands of all time, if not my favorite band, Metallica. But yeah, the opening credit song, with all the slow-mo zombie kills, excellent. Woody Harrelson delivers some just like one-liners from hell. Like, oh man, when I'll give one. Like, obviously there's, "You got a pretty mouth." But my favorite line he delivers in this movie is when he goes to leave, when him and Jesse Eisenberg are separating, and they're going to go their separate ways. And Woody Harrelson says, "I'm not good at goodbyes, so that'll do, pig." Oh man, I hurt my guts every single time. This is probably the 10th time I've seen Zombieland. I've watched it like 3 times just since I got this 4K. But perfect cast. Emma Stone and Abigail Breslin knock it out of the park here. Eisenberg, this would be his second best role in my opinion. Social Network is obviously his masterpiece, but this is his great comedy here. Tons of good gore, tons of fun, great just overall storyline and atmosphere. Just feel good movie. You can throw this on at any time and it's gonna put you in a good mood. Bill Murray scene, obviously legendary, hilarious, just great stuff there. Oh man, all around. This is a solid stack, like honestly, of 10 zombie movies. Those are all absolute must-sees. Will not be disappointed with any of those. And you know what? I'm actually going to throw something else in quick on this episode. I'm going to show off my Walking Dead set. 1 second, sorry. I didn't plan this. But I'm not going to do tons of TV shows, so I might as well just show this off. Not going to talk about it. I'm just going to show them how nice this box set is. This is the Blu-ray Walking Dead complete collection here. 54 Blu-ray discs. Freaking insane on this thing. Nice hard box. Comes in 2 separate. I'm not a huge fan of these, but it's good. It's not terrible. 2 separate just beasts here. But yeah, just tons. This is a really nice set. I thought I might as well show it while I'm doing a zombie episode. But this is a must-grab set as well. Like, Walking Dead is iconic. Just great. And here's the thing, I haven't even finished watching Walking Dead, the whole show. I got to about season 6, I think. So I haven't even seen when Jeffrey Dean Morgan comes on the show. I haven't even got that far yet. and I heard his character is absolutely phenomenal. So oh man, it's such a beast. Like it's so long that I feel like it's scary to start for me, because when I start something, I need to finish it. So I might start this tonight even, and just watch an episode here and there, even an episode a day, in between all my other stuff I'm watching, just to get through it. I need to finish the show. Like, it's iconic horror TV show, one of the most watched shows in history. But yeah, I'm not gonna stay long on this one. I'm just gonna show you my 10 zombie movies and my Walking Dead set and call it an episode. I might get another 10 zombie movies into my next episode and show off another 10 from my collection. Be fun. Just pick out 10 more and watch them all and see what happens. But yeah, thank you for joining me. I will see you in a couple days, and I will bring more info in my next episode. I've been slacking for the last week because I said I got a new dog in the house, and it's just been a lot of overwhelming work I'm not used to. So I've been kind of slacking, but I'm just starting to get back into the groove. So I will be back in a couple days with another pile for you. Thank you very much.